What is up? What is up, everybody? We are here talking about episode 5. We had some criticisms on the last episode, especially me, about the very end of that episode. I liked about 75% of that episode. It was the last 25%. And to me, in this show, you're starting to see some cracks in the writing, but that is what it is. Matt, how you doing? Matt, what did you think about this episode of The Last of Us?
It was pretty cool. Entertaining. It was like the last one kind of. It was pretty. There's a lot of chases going on and shit. It was interesting to see. There's one part though where I was like, that's pretty fucking convenient. But we'll get to it.
Oh, right. I look. I just feel like the writing, maybe the editing a little bit and stuff like that, starting to fall apart. In that last show, in the last episode, you had stupid things happening, like homegirl starting to. Granted, she wasn't like beating on them as hard as she can, but she was like beating on the drums.
Yeah.
Right? How stupid is that? How are you supposed to be the smarter one out of the two? At least that's what they're making her to be in the show. That the Dina character is a little bit more smarter about the survival stuff.
Yeah.
She's the one with the plans and everything. But yet in that moment, she's so stupid. She's like playing around with drums, like making noise where you don't know what's happening and everything else. You could be like, you could have the clickers come out of nowhere. You could have like the damn wolf people come out of hell, even the scars come out of nowhere on your ass. And then we had that big discussion about how the hell are you going to get bit by a clicker and then find out someone's pregnant and then start lovemaking. I get a hug, maybe even a kiss, but like we go straight to whatever, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm never going to understand how that becomes like thing that you're going to do. I don't care. This doesn't make sense. That doesn't happen. I've never in real life seen like somebody surprise their other with like a hey, we're having a baby situation and they go straight to lovemaking. I ain't saying it ain't never happened, but the problem of my whole situation with that is also she just got bit and you're afraid she might be infected.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are we doing here? That just doesn't make sense. A couple of days later, like I said during that episode, I'd have been fine with it. But in that moment, I just thought that was really stupid. And then in this episode, there's things that's going back and forth. Things are changing. And like you said, there was a couple of convenience things. And then, Matt, you remember the first episode, we had that talk about the very first thing that even happened in the season, which was Ellie going up against that guy that was like 5 times bigger than she was.
Yeah.
Like, and how I was like, whatever. Like, it's unbelievable, but whatever. There's no way she could have like took that guy out. And in this episode, it gets even like worse to me where I'm like, bro, yeah, right. Like, whatever. You got these two petite girls going around and like it is like, and then I don't know, you're in a world where these clickers, these monsters are out there and stuff like that can just destroy folks. And it's like, I don't know, man. I just don't think some of this would be happening the way it would be happening. I just was like, whatever. It's like, it's starting to get unbelievable. It's like, because they put them in situations like there's a difference whenever they're sneaking around and doing things right and whatever. And it's like, there's even a part too where Ellie's like in here and she's like, they almost get taken out. They get super lucky that with Steven, right?
No,
Jesse. Yeah. So Jesse shows up. That's the thing I know you're about to talk. I'm gonna go ahead and let you take it from there because I know that's the thing you're talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah, that to me was just like way too fucking convenient. It's showing up. She had 3 of those clicker things on her. Somehow didn't get bit. I don't know how that happened. Um, Dina's freaking out in the cage. She's got the dude ripping the cage open. And this guy and Tommy somehow following them the day after come up at the same spot that they're at right when they need it. It was way too convenient for me.
That's the problem with the writing. Doesn't make sense. It makes sense that probably Tommy and Jesse would show up to help them out because they know they left and they know where they're going, right? They know the whole issue because they had that whole talk in the town about sending people and then they decided not to. It makes sense that like Jesse and Tommy would get to Seattle.
Yeah.
Like that part makes sense. But what you're saying, Jesse to be at the right moment, the right place, the right time, and then he
Yeah.
saves her life. And this whole Ellie comes over here and it's like, uh, he after that they get out of that building and everything else, and they're basically getting away. Ellie has to say something to the effect of like, "We didn't need your help. We were," or she says, "We were doing fine." And he's like, "Really?
Yeah.
You both were about to die, idiot." And it's like that's the problem here. Is like, you're trying to make this little girl like look. Let's be honest. I think like in real life, she's not even that old. Like she might be like 20 or something like that. I know in the show she's supposed to be like 19, but it doesn't matter. She looks like when you compare her to other people, she looks like a little girl. And then you have her like trying to be like a badass. Like I get having a little bit of an attitude here and there, but god dog, man, you literally almost just got slaughtered. And then you're gonna
Yeah.
act like an asshole after it. And that's the problem
Yeah.
I see here is like nobody has anybody to root for because Abby, like I know they're gonna go to her point of view at some point, and maybe you soften up on her a little bit, but nobody's gonna like Abby. She killed Joel, even though she did
Yeah.
it for the right reason. She killed Joel, who was like somebody's character, like somebody's favorite, like character or whatever. Some people's favorite character anyway. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's
Yeah. That was just way too. Because it's like, dude, okay, yeah, I can see you getting to Seattle, but you're telling me with all the shit that's going on there, you're gonna wind up in the same that they stayed in for a night and find the map that they drew that they left there, and you're gonna find them the next day. Nah, I don't think so.
yeah. How did you even know to go to the damn theater?
Yeah.
That's just by luck.
Yeah.
Like you could have had things happen. You could have shown like him and Tommy showing up in Seattle. They get in some kind of like area where they're like in danger or something like that, and they're also trying to find somebody somewhere to hide. And because that's a big building, like they just happen to go in there, but they're kind of almost forced to go in their situation. That would still be like lucky, but then you could also
Yeah.
rationalize like this is what you're literally saying. They come into the town, they don't get any fights, or at least you don't show anything or whatever, and they just so happen to go into this theater,
Yeah.
like the same one. And like you
That
said,
the
like
girls only ended up getting there because they ran away from everything.
yeah,
You know.
no, yeah, exactly right. Like I said, the writing of it to me is just starting to crumble and fall apart. You got these things where you can't explain, like how the hell did this happen, and stuff like that. And it's just like, bro, like I said, I'm just getting taken out of it because you got these two small actresses that are in the middle of a very dangerous situation, and like I'm supposed to believe they're so badass.
Yeah.
Like in that moment before they get attacked by more than one of the zombies, I'm having issues with them probably being able to take out one of the smart ones, right? Because
Yeah.
the whole issue is you got these smart ones that can like go after you and like all that kind of good stuff, and like I'm supposed to believe that they can actually like just go in there and take one out without any trouble.
Yeah.
Like, and it's starting to get harder and harder and harder to believe like uh these things. Like it's just like, oh my god, I don't know if you're feeling that or anything. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. By like, it's like even in that one episode, you had that dude that Ellie jumps on, and the first thing I'm saying is like, bro, all you had to do was fall back, and she's like out of breath, gets her breath knocked out.
Yeah.
It's done. Like that kind of situation. Like it's just starting to me that part of it's starting to get just too unbelievable. Like I said, uh,
Yeah.
am I
I just
wrong with
can't
that?
believe they
Like, do
had.
you think about that at all, or is it just me?
I mean, I just can't believe that they had three of those things on her and she didn't get one bite. It's like, dude, there was one chasing her and Dina, and she took a bite from it to get away so they could get away. But when
Yeah,
there's
that's
three
like a
on top
plot.
of her,
That was for
yeah,
plot, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's obviously
yeah,
going to happen. Then, yeah, I agree with that too. Like,
yeah, it was
yeah.
just way too fucking convenient.
What did you think about the? So bunch of chaos. It's just a bunch of chaos to me. There was like too much chaos, especially in this episode. Like, so you had the thing we were just talking about where the smart one almost got him, and then Jesse shows up at the particular right moment out of nowhere. You also had them trying to get away or go back to the get back to the theater, and while they're trying to do that, they go through, I guess, like a little bit of the outskirts where there's some woods and stuff like that, and they end up
Park.
bumping
They
into
went to the park.
right. So, and I guess it's just overgrown park. It looks like pure
Yep.
woods because of the fact that it's like overgrown from people not, taking care of it anymore. So, like, they go to this area and they bump into the scars, which I thought were kind of cool. Like, they hang up one of these guys, one of the wolf guys, and like basically gut them. We see them actually doing what they do. That one room in one of the past episodes where you got to see like the bodies hanging up with their guts hanging out. Like, this is how they do it. They get noticed. They start chasing. And it was like, it's too much of Ellie to me being like, so like in that one fight, it was like, I can get bit, which I understand with the clickers. Like, at least she can get bit and survive, even though she might die in other ways. At least she can survive a bite. So she's like, you run, I'll distract them. And they do the exact same thing here.
Yeah.
Like, get her out of here. And I guess Homegirl got like her a leg shot.
She got with an arrow.
Yeah. So it was like, it's like, oh, get out of here. Like, I'll distract them. But it was like the same exact thing. It's like you use the exact same game plan you've already used in the same episode. And that kind of thing. I thought the scars gave up looking for her like too easy. They only looked for her for like a couple of seconds and then they all turn around and just walk the other way. Like, I don't know, maybe it's because they didn't want to get spotted by the wolves or whatever and have a full blown out war with them and whatnot. Like, but yeah, I just think it was like chaos to be chaos. No real meaning behind it, I guess you would say. Like the one guy that's like on Tars, the dog's barking, and then like Ellie's able to crawl through like a hole or whatever, trying to get away, and he just gives up on it immediately. It's just, like, I don't know.
Yeah, I was surprised we didn't get any of Jeffrey Wright character in this episode because he was such a big character in the last episode.
Yeah, you're talking about the guy who was like actually torturing one of the scars.
Yeah,
the old naked scar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm surprised he wasn't in this one.
Yeah, he done really good, but he wasn't in this episode at all. We didn't even see Tommy. He was just talked about.
Yeah. That's the thing is if they're saying that Tommy and him went up there, then they both should have been there when Ellie.
Yeah, why wouldn't why would Tommy stay in the theater?
Yeah, that to me.
I kind of know why. Too. I ain't lying to you. I ain't wanting to spoil everything for you, but people are about to get real pissed off because I know why.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, some of this stuff at the beginning of this season, I was enjoying it. I was down for it. And I'm not saying I'm completely gone off of it now. I'm not going to give this like a failing grade episode or anything. But I can see the downward spiral that we're starting to go in, right? I just see some of the cracks in the foundation and everything else. Because they're just doing things now that is, to me, is just like either one doesn't make sense. It's happen chance. None of that stuff happened in the first season. Right. And not much of that happened at the beginning of this season. And then Joel dies in episode 2. And then you can start seeing things like, what the hell? Like you just start seeing these little things that are like becoming issues as we keep going down the episodes further into the season. And like, usually I stop it and I don't watch like basically a little preview for the next episode. But I was watching it on my phone. I didn't hit the button fast enough, so it started automatically playing little stuff from the next episode. Well, I know we're going to get like a pretty decent amount of like flashbacks the next episode. So all the stuff we just dealt with here in this episode, we're not probably going to get too much of it next episode. It looks like it's going to be a lot of flashbacks with Joel and her. And like some of their connection they had before everything went to shit and he died, obviously.
Yeah. Huh. It's weird.
But
especially with only 2 episodes left.
Oh yeah, exactly. We're getting into that acolyte realm. Let's do an episode that almost doesn't change your opinions on anything. that's literally watching another episode. Like this ain't that. This is going to be stuff you haven't seen before, kind of things, interactions between Joel and Ellie. But it's like I don't know. We'll just see because maybe the whole episode ain't that. Maybe it's only like 10 or 15 minutes of the episode total that's going to be flashbacks, and then we're going to get some of the other stuff. But we do have Ellie. She makes it to the hospital. She bumps into one of the people that she knows that was there with Abby. They get into a chase thing, and shots are fired. The wolf people know she's there, coming after her. They go into a tunnel. Now, I understand why they didn't like go in there after the tunnel, but it's just like things like, bro, you're in the middle of their base at their hospital. You start a confrontation. She gets away. You're shooting at her. What the hell, bro? How did you even... There's almost no way you're going to escape that situation. There's almost no way.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, but it was crazy. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I understand they get into the elevator shaft. It was kind of closed off or whatever. And now they're afraid because they're talking about the spores, which means like if you breathe the stuff in, you become contacted with it. We also know that by the actress that's playing the, I can't remember her name. She's like a minor character, but she was with Abby when they killed Joel. And Ellie's like, tell me where Abby is. Tell me where Abby is. She won't do it. Then they do their whole thing. And then when they get down there, she's like, oh, you're stupid. Like, we're both dead now because of this. And then she realizes who Ellie actually is. She's the one that was like going to possibly save humanity because they were going to try to build a cure out of her and everything else. And she's like, Joel did all this and everything. And then Abby's like, I know. And starts beating the shit out of her, like brutally. What'd you think about that part?
Yeah, well, I mean, leading up to it, seeing those people that were built into the fungus and shit, breathing out the spores, that was so gnarly.
Yeah, I thought that would look really good. Like, I would give the show this. I have no problems with how they film it, how it looks. I agree with Andor, too. Like, both of them, these shows are looking pretty good because we're covering both shows right now. But they both look really good. That's one thing I'll never say about this show is how I won't complain about how it looks. My only problems now is like how like you're starting to have convenience and plot devices and stuff like that are just too easy. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, just that was a gnarly visual. Seeing those people that were like half, I mean, they were just part of the organism. Now, you know what I mean? It was almost like the dudes that were in Pirates of the Caribbean that were part of the ship.
Yeah,
it was like that, but worse because those fools were breathing out the shit to infect people.
Yeah. Now, what did you actually think about Ellie and how hardcore she went about beating that girl?
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna get to. Yeah, that was crazy to see because they had the red lights and shit on in the back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was cool to see her finally like really wail on someone and go crazy because that's how Joel was too. You know, when it came down to shit, Joel would kill everyone in the room. So it was cool to see her that switch flip.
Yeah, it's like me. I enjoyed that last part of the episode. I thought like, oh, right, this is a little bit redeeming from some of the issues that I had during the episode itself. It's like I said, to me, they're just going to have a problem, a decent amount of problems with making it believable. Like anytime Dina and Ellie has to go up against something that's like 5 times bigger than they are, like every single time, like according to how they do it. Like I said, if they're doing sneaking around and stuff like that, like I can get away with that, and it doesn't take me out of it. But when they do like some of this ridiculous stuff, and it's like just so obvious from the very beginning, I'm like, okay, it's going to be tough. Like they can do it, they can write something that makes sense, and you can even have fun with and still believe. But they're going to have to get creative with it, and it's like I do think it's a little crazy when you have a time like I do think that some females out there would be they would step up, they would be brave and everything else. But I do find it crazy how we have basically like the zombie apocalypse that happens, and almost every group that we bump into is led by like women. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no badass dude that's just kind of being in charge. Like, oh, I'm in charge. Like every group we bump into, because even the scars, like we bumped into that group and it was kind of led by a guy, but he was still talking about, like, I guess they have a leader that's either alive or dead or something like that. That was like a woman. I'm like, so none of these groups are um uh in in charge, like, because even if you go through like the first season, you had like the group that was in, I can't remember what town it was, but that was led by that lady and everything else. And I'm just
Yeah,
like, the
even the people in
odds of every,
Seattle,
yeah,
they're
that's what I'm saying.
led by that lady too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the odds of this happen, like if it was all men being led, I could also see someone having a problems, because like so for instance, the scars being led by a lady makes sense. They're like these group or whatever. Any of these groups, like even the first season, I never even brought it up. You know, there's going to be a group that's kind of led by a lady that's like super smart, because like men or women are a little bit different, but like they're both strong in their own ways, and so like sometimes like I could totally understand and get it, because you got this lady, she's like a good leader, whatever, being in charge. It's just like, what are the odds that every one of these groups we bump into is led by a woman? Like, and I
Yeah,
know like some people might hear that and try to say like, I'm not being that, man. It was just something that I kind of noticed. It was just kind of weird. I'm just kind of like, the odds of every group, like, I don't know. Like, I don't have a like an actual problem with it. It's going to stop me from watching the show or anything. I just something that I noticed. I was just like, odds of that happening has got to be crazy.
yeah,
Because like you got
yeah,
to think in that situation, you're going to have like big, strong, like probably military style people that get in charge that in a situation like that, right? So it's like, I don't know. It's like, where are these guys at? Because like even Joel, like you go even to Jackson's, led by Joel's brother's wife. She's like
yep,
the leader over there, and everything
yeah.
else. Don't know.
Mhm.
All the guys in this time period suck. I guess I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. After seeing all the crap that they went through this last two episodes, I don't know how in the world they think that they could get to Abby. You know what I mean?
No,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
I agree. It's a difficult like path to go down or whatever. It's
Yeah,
it. Like I said, they're being kind of sneaky. There's only two of them, so I could see them sneaking their way through. But there's no way with all the gunshots that fired. They even talk about like only using knives, or and I know shit hits the fan and they get to the place where they can't. They have to use firearms to be able to try to survive and start trying to shoot some of them before Jesse rolls around and his convenient self just happens to be there. But
yeah,
like you got shots fired. You're in the middle of this city run by the wolves. Also, they're in a battle with another group and everything else. You literally bump into both of them during this situation. It's like, man, I mean, that starts to become like a little too much to me. Like if you're
yeah,
sneaking around and you just happen to see things that are going crazy right around you, like they're noticing it and they're using that as like camouflage to get to where they need to get. But they're like literally shooting guns and shit out in the middle of this like place that is overrun by like a military basically.
yeah. And there's no sound, so everyone hears that shit. You know what I mean? For miles, probably.
Oh yeah,
So,
it's not like you're in a busy city that have shots fired all the time because you like in the inner city or something like that. So
or
like,
any noise. There's nothing going on there. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like everyone's got to hear that shit.
yeah. And like I said, you have the dog that you have trained, and something goes into a hole, and you just automatically think that like it's like I say, he just gives up on it way too easy. He doesn't even bend down and shine his light in the hole or any of that, like to try to see if it happens to be something else or whatever.
Yeah,
And he just gives up on it. Like I said, it's starting to have like a lot of plot devices where it's just like, well, we got to have this happen. This person can't get hurt now. We're going to put it in a cool situation that makes you think they're in danger, but they're not in danger, which is like really weird for a show like this because Joel gets killed. So you would think like I'm going to automatically assume everybody's going to die constant, or at least anybody could die kind of situation when you do that. But then they do stuff like this, and it's kind of like, bro, that's kind of what are you talking about, man? That guy would at least look at the hole.
to me, it's kind of dumb too that Tommy. What's his name? Not Tommy. Who's the other guy that's with them again? Jesse. He
Jesse,
said
yeah.
that they snuck out. Him and Tommy snuck out to get them. Like, why would Tommy risk anything to get these two girls back? I can understand
Well, I
Jesse.
mean, I can understand a little bit because his brother was Joel. He also wants some revenge. Like he even admits to it, like when they're in the city. I think that Tommy would be using this as an excuse to get the revenge for Joel, because he also wants a little bit of revenge for what they did to his brother. So, like, I think he would use this, oh, I got to go get the girls back kind of situation, not necessarily 100% because he wants to get the girls, but because he's like, my brother got killed. I couldn't just walk out then, but now I got like another excuse to go help some people that are from our community. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this gives
Yeah,
me the chance to like get out. Now sneaking out, I don't know how he would do that. He's got like a wife and stuff there at the town.
yeah, yeah. And a
So
kid.
like,
They have a kid, don't they?
yeah, exactly. So like, I don't understand like how he's going to sneak out totally, right? He would have
Yeah,
to like talk to her, like, or they're saying that now he's a piece of shit 'cause he just skipped out of his family without telling them. And I get Jesse doing it
yeah.
because he was like really good friends with him and stuff like that.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can understand Jesse wanting to do it, but I don't see Tommy's reason for doing it. Even with Joel, because Joel just died. Like fucking shit's real, you know. He knows shit's real. Like it's too much to
Mhm.
risk with the family and all that shit. He's part of
I
the
mean, your
running the
town also
town.
got overran by a bunch of zombies, and you're trying to like fix that up and everything
Yeah,
else. Like, but I can see like you're wanting revenge bad enough that hey, you kind of ignore that and sneak out. I could see that. I mean, if something were to happen to my
yeah,
son or something like that, and I would say like maybe they, the two brothers having a good relationship could be similar to that. Like I'd be wanting to go get revenge. I'd probably make a stupid decision. It's like I said to my son a bunch of times. Like I can see myself doing what this. The one thing cool I think about the story overall is the one of the big points is I can see myself in Joel's shoes and Abby's.
hmm,
Like I can see me doing what Joel does, and I can see doing what Abby did. Like I
yeah,
could, according on to what side I was on, like I would agree with that side. Like I would say like what Abby did. Maybe you can say, oh well, it shouldn't have been as brutal, but I don't know, man. He shot her dad like in the freaking head. He wasn't even armed. Like cold blooded murder,
yeah,
right? And you possibly to them, they're going to be like, you just did that to have the girl escape that could possibly save everybody's lives. Like, yeah, you can't say this 100% guaranteed that you're going to be able to save everybody's life or whatever, but there's a chance, and you took that chance away
yeah.
and killed all their
Mhm.
family members and shit. So like, uh, so yeah, I mean, I can see doing the Joel or Abby side. Like, I can see either side. That's the cool part about the story. But it's just these like, how do we get there? How do we tell this story in a good way? I don't have a problem with Joel dying, right? I actually think
Yeah,
that's a ballsy move and everything. But it's like, what are you going to do afterwards? You're going to have Bella Ramsey playing the character of Ellie and what have you take over this show, right? To be intricate
mhm,
to making this show keep going and people stay interested in it after you take Joel out of this picture. Uh, but to me, for instance, I think Dina's doing the better job. The actress that plays Dina's doing a better job than anybody that's keeping me interested in the show so far because I think she's doing fabulous. I think the way Bella Ramsey playing Ellie is like, sometimes I'm cool with it, sometimes I'm not. They make her like in a moment here, maybe sort of likable, but then like I said, she says that moment like, well, we were doing fine. But shut the fuck up.
yeah,
You had to literally be saved. If Jesse doesn't show up, you both die because of
yeah.
the stupid decisions that you made. Like, so just shut up. Like for once, like that's what I would say if I was there. Just shut up for once in your life.
Uh,
You literally almost died because dumb decisions that you made because you couldn't be careful because you had to go check out shit for what reason I don't know, just because you wanted to. Like you're not like literally the curiosity of being in that building and having to go scout it more for whatever reason. It's like just super dumb.
yeah,
Like your whole purpose is to get to Abby. That literally could have caused you not to ever get to Abby.
hmm,
So it's just like I said, it's just you make a dumb decision to get into the situation you're in, and then not only that, you get into a situation that's super scary. And if Jesse doesn't show up at the right time, you all die, which is just a convenience thing again. That's what I'm saying. It's a bunch of chaos, and it doesn't like really work because you don't actually set up things to make it work.
Yeah.
You could have been like, so for instance, you could have been telling a story of how Jesse and Tommy was coming after him, right, to try to catch them. You could have had, you know, just moments here and there of like them traveling to try to catch up to them. They know they're going to Seattle. Then you could have had them getting into the city, a little short, little 5-minute scene or something. Them getting there at the city, you know, a day or two after they do, and they're trying to like find their way through. They take maybe a little bit of a different route. Then you show another scene of them hearing something or whatever, or maybe even seeing something with like binoculars. They're trying to like catch everything, see what they can find. They see some commotion over there by the theater, right? Or
Yeah.
see some people run into the theater, and they're like, man, you can even make it to where they don't even know who it is, but they're like, oh shit, something's going down over there. So then they kind of like try to sneak their way to that to see what's going on, to see who it might be, even if they couldn't make out exactly who they were and what have you. Then that's how they get to the theater. That explains it. They're in the theater, not by happen chance, but they're there. Then you could have showed a scene of them at least seeing the map, right? And saying like, oh
Yeah.
shit, it looks like they're planning on trying to get to this area. They got a map, they got some shit on there. Damn, you know what? Like, we might be able to use this to see where they're at. So there, you can show them a little 2-minute scene, not even that long, of them like doing their whole reconnaissance and maybe sneaking around, and then they hear commotion, right? And
Yeah.
that's why they end up showing up at the exact right time. It's not just by luck, per se, but there's reasons for them, and it makes sense. But none of it
Yeah.
makes sense. None of it makes sense. Like it doesn't even
Yeah,
make
because
sense.
they were like at the bottom level of a building too. Like, how did he get to the bottom level? You know what I mean? Like,
No, that's
that,
what I'm saying. It's like none of it makes sense. It doesn't even make sense why is Jesse and Tommy split up. Like it just doesn't make sense. Why would you?
yeah,
You're in the middle of hostile territory. So
yeah.
you're gonna let Jesse go off on his own? What was the reason for him going off on his own?
Hmm.
The only reason you can come up with, the only reason why, and because they don't give it to you, is they needed Jesse to show up at the right moment and the right time.
Yeah, I think they wrote themselves into a wall there, and they were just like, "How can we fix this?"
But we will see. I find things very interesting. I'm not a person that just throws around certain things. I see some people out there with criticisms of the show that I don't think's fair. I think talking about the plot and everything's fine. I think you can bring up something like I noticed. Because like I said, it's not like a big deal to me, but like noticing the fact that every group we go into is like run by a lady, which it is what it is. But like, I don't even think that's a true criticism, right? As long as those characters are cool and they're put in the place, as long as it's not something really super dumb or out of place, and everything else, I don't think you can actually criticize the show for that and not like really show your colors. Like I just noticed that and brought it up earlier. I'm not like uh, per se criticizing it ultimately. I just find it kind of weird because you would assume that at least one or two of these groups were run by like some guy at some point. It seems like it.
Yeah,
Um, but it is what it is. It's not my story to tell. And like I said, I think if you were to have someone who was bigger in stature than Ellie, like as far as who's playing the character, like
yeah,
Bella Ramsey or whatever, I think you could get away with some of this other stuff that I've said something about. But it's like because you have such a small person doing it, like if Ellie was played by a guy, but was the exact same size, like a very petite guy, I'd be saying the same thing. I'd be like,
yeah,
how the hell is this little dude beating up on this big ass guy? Like, it's not going to
yeah.
help. Like, it wouldn't help that situation, but it is what it is. Well, let's go ahead. Let's get this thing over. We've been talking for over 30 minutes now. Uh, it, First, we'll go with any last things, anything else you think we might not have said anything about.
I just don't see how Dina can even go on. She has an arrow in the leg. She's
Pregnant.
pregnant. Uh, you know what I
She
mean? Like they got it. I don't know how they could keep her
she made love to
part
an
of the.
affected person pretty new, so like we don't even know if that could affect.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So I don't know where they're gonna go with. I mean, I want to see where it goes, but yeah, a lot of shit's been getting out of hand.
all right, what's your like score on this particular episode?
I'd give it like a 7.5.
All right, so that's still pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
what do you say about the series so far?
Honestly, this has probably been my favorite show to watch this last probably like year or so. I
Man, that
liked
is
it a
saying.
lot.
Now, listen, I am not saying this show's bad, but that is saying to me that we have went downhill when it comes to shows.
No, that's true.
um, but I actually like because we're watching two at the same time here, Andor and this. I actually like Andor. I think Andor started out slow, and this show started out fast. I just think they're on both two different trajectories. I think one's rising, right? Whereas the other
Yeah.
one's kind of coming down, and they're kind of passing each other as one's going up and one's coming down. Now, that's not to say these next two episodes that we get, the final two episodes of this season, because I think it's only 7 episodes, that's not saying that they could, last two episodes, knock it out of the park. And some of the little things or whatever I kind of ignore because I'm like, oh shit, this thing was actually really effing good. Because not everything that you do, not every episode is going to be killer. I mean, and I'm not even super low on the episode. I do because of the fact that we have, like, to me, a bunch of chaos. Some of it don't make sense. We got too many convenience things that happens and stuff like that. I am going to give it like a C plus, um, but that's still passing grade. That's still me. I did overall. I like some of the things in the show. Like I do like the ending and how it ended, and we saw Ellie like go ape shit crazy on that girl, started beating the shit out of her brutally or
Yeah.
whatever to kind of show that a little bit. And I like some of the moments, even though, like, I like the moment that they're in that room. It was a cool setting. And then all of a sudden they find out there's like five of these smart ones in the same place and they don't know where to go. And then that there's anxiety there. There's homegirl getting into the cage thing and trying to be safe because she can't get bit because she's not immune and she's pregnant. And there, so that was a fun scene to watch. And then I'm thinking, oh shit, there's like a member of Wolf that just happened to hear this shows up and sees the like zombie things and start killing them, not even knowing who he's helping. Like, I thought that's what was going to
Yeah.
be like happening. Turns out to be Jesse out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, that don't make fucking sense. How the hell did he know exactly where they're at? That's a big
Yeah.
ass city. Seattle's not a small town.
Mm-hmm.
Like it'd be totally different if they were in some area that was like used to be a small town. There's only like a few buildings there, period. You know, like a small southern town or something like that. Uh, then it would be like a lot easier for you to like stomach. But it's like, bro, you're in fucking Seattle. It's a
Yeah.
huge fucking city. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because of those things is why my grade's lower. So far for the whole entire season, I think it started out real strong. I didn't have any problems with the writing. I just started having a couple of issues with the show here these last couple of episodes as far as like writing and some of the decisions they're making and stuff like that. I just think they're really dumb, like that and what have you. It's kind of brought it down a little bit. But as a show overall, this episode C plus. But as a show overall, I'm at like a B minus, which is still pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So the show's still on that A and B honor roll, right? I would still
Mm-hmm.
like. I'm on the borderline of if I would just recommend this to anybody. I would recommend it to people that I know like certain things right now, but I don't know if I'd recommend this to anybody. Whereas Andor right now, where it's going, I would say, hey, dog, the first couple of episodes is not the greatest in the world, but this thing gets pumping and it starts telling a really good story. I would recommend Andor to anybody. Like I would
Yeah.
say like, hey man, like go and try this out, man. Even if you're not a Star Wars fan, you might still enjoy it, kind of situation. Well, that being said,
Yeah.
guys, thank you for being here and everything else. Please, like, got the banner down there, letting you know some of the ways that you can be part of there. You can join the Discord for free, be part of these subjects as we talk about them in our Discord or whatever. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. That's open for free. Anybody to join, come and join the community and everything. Thank you guys for the people that like, especially watch the entire episode and not just a couple things. Leave the comments down below, man. I know, like I said, there's one thing I was talking about on here that some people might have a problem with. Hey, Barry, drop the comment down below. But with that being said, me and Matt is out of here for the time being. And until next time, peace.